time is 6 o'clock, and this is the Acushnet Planning Commission. This meeting is being recorded for future viewing on the town's YouTube channel. We are live via Zoom tonight. And is there a motion to open the planning board meeting?
Motion to open the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we please introduce ourselves to the audience?
Peter Guyappa, member.
Steve Boucher, member.
Mark Francois, chairman.
Brian Deschamps, member.
Rick Ellis, Vice Chairman.
All right. Did everybody have a chance to look over the meeting minutes that Haley sent to us for June 6th? We were all in attendance. Did anybody find any comments, questions, concerns?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented and typed.
We have a
Second.
motion,
Let's see,
we have a
June 6th.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fabulous. All right. Moving right along. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing portion of this meeting?
A motion to open the public hearing.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This public hearing is for a Form C 2023-01, proposed subdivision of land, 39 Keene Road, Form C definitive subdivision owned by AMN Estate Holding LLC applicant. The engineer is Fallen Corp. of Fairhaven, Mass. This proposal is for a 6-lot subdivision on a single-access street. The plans and accompanying documentation are available for inspection at the town clerk's office, Parting Ways Building, 130 Main Street, first floor, during regular business hours. Now, the applicant has revised the plans based on input and comments from the planning board and the public from the public hearing of January 25th, 2024. The latest plan revision is dated March 25th, 2024, and the latest stormwater revision was also March 25th, 2024. These plans have gone to peer review. The engineer GAF is peer reviewing these plans. They've come back and they said that they would most likely be done with stormwater peer review around July 24th and ours shortly thereafter. So we are going to continue this public hearing to August 8th, 2024 at 6 p.m., which is our next meeting following the July 24th stormwater meeting. Can I get a motion?
Motion to continue the public hearing to July 24th.
No, August 8th.
What?
August 8th.
August 8th, sorry, August 8th. That's right.
I get a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion to close the Keene Road public hearing portion of this and open the Quaker Lane public hearing part of this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. This public hearing is 2024-01. This meeting is held in accordance with and pursuant to the provisions of the Acushnet General Bylaws, zoning Article 8, Section 3.3C, 13, common driveways. The petitioner is Tom Thurfall of 110 Quaker Lane, Acushnet, and the owner is Thurfall Family Trust of 2017. with an address of 112 Quaker Lane, Acushnet, Mass. Map 12, Lot 19. The applicant is proposing to improve an existing gravel driveway to the planning board standards for the access to the existing dwelling at 112 and to an additionally newly created residential lot known as Retreat Lot 1A, 33,440 square feet. Common driveway easement is provided for travel and vehicle turnaround area. The proposed common driveway would service 2 residential lots. Schneider, DeVignan, Leone Incorporated is representing the applicant in this application. The accompanying documentation are available for inspection at the town clerk's office, Party Place Building, 130 Main Street, first floor, during regular business hours. Mr. Leone.
Good evening. Matt Leone with Schneider, DeVignan, and Leone. I have the notification of abutters green cards.
Thank you very much.
Go.
Oh, wait a minute. Give me one quick second.
Sure.
Let me end up. Quick one. Yeah. Take this one for you. Take this one here for you. Let's see if you and Pete.
Ready? Sure. Property is located on the south side of Quaker Lane, just west of the town line. It's approximately 18.6 acres in total. The site was divided into 2 lots, Retreat Lot 1 and 2, through an approval not required plan approved by this board on February 8th of this year. The applicant is seeking a special permit for a common driveway that will allow access to Retreat Lot 1, so their son and daughter-in-law can construct a single-family dwelling. The plan tonight depicts the improvements and upgrades to the existing gravel driveway that is to remain in use and serve as access for the 2 retreat lots, as well as to redefine the common driveway easement that was originally shown on the A&R plan. The change to the easement is within the turnaround area that has been reconfigured to better allow for the current house and site plan design on Retreat Lot 1. The existing gravel drive has been servicing the property for many years, providing access to the existing dwelling, number 112, and the property's agricultural related uses. It meets or exceeds the minimum 16-foot width throughout and will be continued to be kept clear of brush and vegetation along the shoulders. The applicant is proposing a 30-foot long paved apron at the entrance to Quaker Lane to provide a stable transition and turning area at this intersection. In addition, a gravel turnaround area is proposed at Retreat Lot 1 to provide accessibility to emergency construction and delivery vehicles. This turnaround will be constructed to the planning board standards with a minimum width of 16 feet and cleared width of 20 feet. Chief Farland of the Acushnet Fire Department has reviewed the current layout and has indicated that the existing driveway and turnaround configuration as proposed is sufficient for the department's apparatus. A copy of this correspondence was included with the application package that we had submitted. Both homes are and will be serviced by private wells and septic systems. Fuel for the homes will be separate from each other and in the form of either like propane or oil or something like that. Electric service easements shall be drafted and recorded as required between the parties and utility companies as needed to ensure access and maintenance of the services. The bylaw insists that no building permit be issued for construction until this special permit has been granted by the board, and it has been recorded along with deeds that will include the language set forth in Form O, any utility easements needed, and a declaration of easements and restrictions that will ensure the maintenance of the common driveway in perpetuity. We have included a copy of the Form O and the proposed easement maintenance agreement with the permit application for the board's review. Finally, the applicant understands that no occupancy permit shall be issued until the planning board has been satisfied that the common driveway has been constructed as approved and all permit conditions have been met. So essentially, the existing driveway has been in existence, as I said, for many years. The changes that we are proposing to the driveway is the paved apron, as I mentioned, to create that stable turnaround area, turning area and access. And we're adding this hammerhead turnaround here that will provide the turnaround for construction and emergency service vehicles. The existing hammerhead that we had shown on the original A&R was a little bit more into the lot, and we have reconfigured it still within the planning board specs so that we could get a little bit more push towards the easement rather than creating setbacks that would interfere with the layout that the homeowner is looking to do on the home. Again, Chief Farland mentions in his correspondence that there's plenty of turnaround area within this parking area here to service the lot 12, house 12, and any of the barns or other structures or facilities that are here. And again, this is the existing conditions that has been here for years. I've brought along some photos of the site. These were taken just a few weeks ago. This is the entrance off of Quaker Lane into the site, and these kind of give you an idea of this is kind of looking directly in the middle. These two here give you an idea of what the sight lines would be out of the driveway. This is another picture of the driveway as you enter in. And these are some photos as you walk along. It's in really great shape. I mean, they do a great job maintaining it. And as we come in, where my vehicle is here is essentially where the turnaround will end up being once they do have that constructed. And this is a view down the laneway towards the back area with the barn and the other associated structures and the dwelling number 112, which is shown there in the corner. And I do have some additional photos if the board would care to view them. A little bit more of the same, but if you want to take a look at it, Charles, any questions?
Thank you.
Yep. We'll flip it back to the design plan.
Let's look at piece of property.
Next road too.
Yeah, the road's
in good shape.
it's in good shape. So where your vehicle is here is where the hammerhead would be?
Yeah, essentially, they've already started removing, as we show here, there was some stone walls and some rubble here that's going to be removed, and I think they have a little pull off right there, and my truck's like right there in that photo.
So this whole back barn area and storage and everything, that stays with lot 2, correct?
That's correct, yes. The only lot that we're providing any additional access to is this retreat lot 1, which is essentially the neck and the here up to the stone wall. That bold dark line kind of separates the two lots.
And the 3 lots out in Quaker Lane, these 3 right here, those are just separate lots.
Yes, these are completely independent lots fronting on Quaker Lane with their own frontage and access off of Quaker Lane. The only access that this driveway will be providing is what it does now, which is the farm facility, the home number 112, and now the only additional will be another single-family home for the son and daughter.
There's houses beyond 112?
No.
Okay, but there are lots that are owned by somebody else back there.
There are lots that do extend beyond here, but there's nothing developed in that area. And there is no right-of-way or anything that goes beyond that. There is this right-of-way here it's kind of funny, the owner of this lot, Morris, also owns another lot down here. It's all woodland, but this is an access way to get there. I don't think that it's being used, but it is a record right-of-way record.
So that person does have a right of way from the same beginning.
They have a right to use it.
Not this road. They have a right-of-way through here. Yes. To access from their property here,
Oh,
here, along the sideline here, and down through here.
oh, gotcha.
It is independent of the right-of-way that,
They show it going right
Okay.
or the driveway that they have there.
But they show it going right through the barn.
The barn is built in part of the right-of-way, yes. Yeah. It's not, it's all brush and it's all overgrown, it's not being utilized, it's just a,
Right, but what
On
happens in the
paper.
future if somebody wants to use it? Do they have to move the barn?
that's a question I'm not gonna,
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right,
gonna
I'm just
try to
curious.
answer.
That's a question for land court.
Yeah.
That certainly would qualify as
Yeah,
what do they call it?
A dilemma.
No,
Well, actually, you
it's
can,
Adverse
adverse
possession.
possession.
adverse
Yeah.
possession, yeah. It certainly is a
Good case for it.
open and notorious use of the right-of-way.
Especially if they've
Fine.
known for years and years and years, it's been like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that there is any intention to access the lot in that manner. I think it's something from the,
Yeah.
way back when.
Yeah.
But it is, you're correct, it is existing, that's why we show it on the plan, to denote that there is an encumbrance on the lot.
Open, notorious, and exclusive. That's, you have to prove those three things to get adverse possession.
For a period of 20 years.
Yep.
Not permissive either.
That's correct. That's correct.
I would like to see that maybe the head of the DPW can maybe do a quick inspection of the new hammerhead and the road once everything is completed.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that would be prior to the issuance of the occupancy permit.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any questions, gentlemen?
No, I mean, this is an old property. It's been like that for a long, long time. I mean, the alternative is with no special permit for common use of that driveway, well, then that just puts another driveway out onto
On
the
road,
street.
Right.
I mean, that's really the purpose for having a special permit is so that you don't have, like there are in some other places of town where people couldn't get together, 3 driveways,
Mhm.
one after another.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's happening here is the hammerhead that you're adding in.
Yeah, and the
It's
pa-
a-
the paved
it's
apron
It's
at
an
the front.
additional place to turn
Right.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are 2 retreat lots, you got about 150 feet of frontage for both, which all you need is 80, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. I think
Yeah.
it's 40 and 40 for the minimum for two.
Minimum, right.
Yes.
Is there anybody from the audience that showed up that got notified by the board?
Yeah, this is a public hearing, thank you very much. Is there anybody out in the audience that's here to discuss this, or out on Zoom that is here to discuss Quaker Lane?
Pro or con?
Answers that. Okay. You went over, in your beginning presentation, you went over a lot of what I was gonna ask you regarding easements and forms N and O, so I mean, you're 2 steps ahead of what I was gonna ask, which is great. We'll have the head of DPW give his little thumbs up on the driveway when it's complete, before you get your building permit. The 2 lots check off all the boxes that are needed for the 2 lots, and we have a letter from the fire chief approving the turnaround. So
I mean, I would like to see a copy of the proposed easements before we actually do a vote on it. I mean, there should be a vote for access, and if there are any utilities that are going to be shared by those two lots. I mean, we should have a copy of that.
I agree, but well, tonight, tonight we'll do a vote on the plans that were presented and approve or deny the plans that were presented. Then Haley will write up the actual permit for the common driveway, which we will then again vote on at our next meeting
Okay?
and sign.
Okay.
And then if Mr. Leone can present us with that easement, let your.
I mean, those are critical, that each person that has those lots should have the rights to access and the rights to run utilities to get up to their house, that's all.
Yep.
I mean, that's,
There is a draft that was included with the package that gives a declaration of reciprocal easements and restrictions that you can review. I think the only other utility easement that would be required would be for the access to the electric, which is already on site. But as far as a cross easement, I don't know if that would come from the utility company themselves, if that comes from Eversource, or if they're private poles. I can't give you that answer tonight.
No, as
well,
long as-
no, that there should, one of the easements should be for the benefit of Lot 1
Yeah.
to utilize the existing electric line, that's all.
Okay.
I mean, other than,
we'll make sure that's
you
clear.
never know who's gonna own these things. I mean, if you have two different owners, and one of them has the electric line, and then holds the other future owner at arm's length for money in order to get access to that electric line, I mean, we're trying to prevent that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know where the electric line is, but in this case, should somebody buy this and they get the electric line on their property, then they could shut off the existing house and the existing barns without some kind of agreement.
Okay.
I would not be anxious to let that happen.
Well, I would have you read the one that was included in the package, just to make sure that we do need something additional, and if we do, we will absolutely
Okay.
prepare it for you.
I will,
It doesn't have to be complicated, I mean, just
Yeah.
simply allowing whatever you're calling it, existing retreat lot 2, the right to use the electric lines,
this
and
is,
also existing retreat lot 1, the right to use the existing electric
I think
lines.
that's what was in there.
There's no water,
The
gas, or
easements.
sewer out there.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think I read through that briefly. I think that
Okay.
list of easements is on there. We'll look this over. If there's any
Okay.
issues, I'll reach out. I'll have Haley reach out to you guys
Absolutely.
prior to next week's meeting. But we'll look through both of your packets and make sure that everything's.
I didn't see that on the computer.
No, I don't think she put that inside.
Oh, okay,
That's
that's-
their application.
Yeah.
She didn't put the entire application online. She just put the plans on.
I apologize.
No worries, you didn't read it, that's fine. All right, are we good? Are you good?
I'm good.
He's good. Can I get a motion to approve plans as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the plans on, for common driveway construction and easement plan. 112 Circle Lane. I'll second that.
I got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Oh, he did second?
Yeah.
Peter seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, gentlemen, get your writing,
Writing hands.
get your writing in.
I don't think that you need, I know Heather included the Mylar in the package when she submitted to you. I don't think that you guys need to endorse that. I can record that plan as what's called an 81X, a no new lines and ways plan. Typically, I would have just come in with a construction plan. The only change was to the easement. We did modify the easement lines on the plan, but I could do that with my signature and submit that to the registry for recording and reference in the deeds.
And it would reference the set of plans that we
The
already
new
signed?
plan, yes, both plans would be referenced, correct.
Okay, So we don't need to sign
I don't think you need to sign that Mylar.
these sets of plans.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of on the easement is, before a building permit is issued, those easements should be in force for both of those lots. I mean, right now, if it's a common owner for both the lots, you can't grant an easement to yourself.
Self, right. It does state in the bylaw that it has to be recorded prior.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so those have to
Okay.
be put in and recorded.
and that's part of, that'll be written on the permit that we will sign next.
Yeah, as long as the building inspector doesn't issue a building permit for lot one until the easements
Until
are in
everything's been
place and
recorded,
recorded, yeah.
yes.
Right.
All right, so we don't need to sign these? And you don't want your Mylar?
I do want my
You want
Mylar. I want my Mylar back. That one I have to submit. To register.
Oh, thank you.
We'll just take these copies back to your office for our records.
At one point, one of those barns had the beginnings of a sawmill in it. I wondered,
Way in the back, way in the back.
Way in the back, yeah.
Yeah.
Did that ever get operational?
There's equipment in it and it's there. I don't know whether or not
I
it's
don't know.
actually being in use today, but.
It doesn't matter, I just, I remember.
Okay, good memory.
It was one of Dick's pet projects.
Yeah, and, I mean, there was definitely equipment in there, whether or not it was active as a,
Yeah, I don't know.
currently running mill, I'd have to ask the owner.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Again, when he showed it to me, I mean, it looked like it could have been made ready to work relatively soon. But
Okay, so we've made a motion, we voted, everybody's happy, and we don't need to sign. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that one goes with these.
Thank you, Mr. Leone, appreciate it. All right,
I don't think there's been another proposal for a special permit for a common driveway in the last 20 years.
actually, you had one a couple of years ago.
Did we?
Which one?
Peckham Road.
Oh, yeah, oh, that thing. Yeah, that was, no, I don't want to talk about that.
See that, you
Want to forget that.
Well, there were about 3 proposals for
Yeah,
the lots back there.
I'll make a motion to move out of public hearing.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, back in regular meeting. Discussion of the topics. A&R 2024-05 for a plan of land prepared by Roland Olivera on 231 Mattapoisett Road, map 10 through 14, lot 14A of Acushnet, Mass. The project engineer is Outback Engineering, Inc. in Middleborough, Mass. The purpose of this plan is to create Lot 1 and Lot 2 as shown on the plan drawings. I'm assuming you are from Outback Engineering?
I am.
Please introduce yourself.
PJ Babital, Outback Engineering.
Thank you.
Basically, straightforward Form A.
Apologize, give me one quick second. Gentlemen, take a quick peek, a little bit closer.
Like I said, pretty much a straightforward Form A. It's an oversized lot with one building. And we're just creating one buildable lot. Has the frontage, has the area, meets all the dimensional requirements.
So Lot 1 was the original owner of all the property with the house on it,
That's correct, yep, lot one.
and we're gonna cut a piece out of it and make Lot 2. The frontage is more than enough.
Mucho.
Mucho.
Lots of frontage and plenty of area.
Yeah, you got 66,000 upland, 65 total. appreciate the little zoning reference square up in the top left, and helps us make sure that you're meeting all the setbacks.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have that.
You'd be surprised how many people don't.
It's about as straightforward as it gets.
Yeah, and that's not as straightforward as it gets. I mean, all kinds of frontage, both frontages are on a public way, plenty of lot area.
Setback there, we got square footage. Existing house setbacks are still there.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the plan as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now you get your writing here out. Let's open all these up, put them on top of each other.
Is the thing just
Oh, it is open right there, yeah.
beautiful?
Close them up real quick.
So you guys sign them right here?
We'll
Right
sign
now?
for you right here, right now, and I'll give you my lot back.
That's nice. You'd be surprised how many people don't do that.
It takes a minute, but I'd rather you not have to come all the way back.
I appreciate that.
Start it off with the date on top, please. There's another one of these.
Here you go.
No,
Oh,
this is,
sorry.
yep, no worries. Today is, what is, 6:20?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. It's a really night for you guys, huh?
Thank you. All good, continue signing, let's move on. All right, so, Robinson Road Solar Project. Proponent is Nexam. Discussion of additional project screening due to abutters' concerns. Nexamp has responded with offers to compromise, see the attached correspondence. So, you all have in your packets, so we had proposed, if you recall, a little bit of background on this. We had some abutters come in, not really liking the screening that's there, the planting screening that's there, and they were asking if we could put some kind of a screening on the fence, at least for it to last long enough until the trees mature and block the view. We went back to Nexamp and asked them if they could do the kind of the plastic weave in between the chain link fence. Come to find out, that's not an option. This fence isn't exactly a chain link fence. It's kind of more of a farm fence with like bigger slots, bigger gaps. So the plastic slats weave through is not an option. They came back with this perma-screen. It is, I'm sure you've all seen it on construction sites. It's kind of that, you know, it's not see-through, but it does block the view and air can get through. But yet it does give a form of privacy to the solar field, to the proponents. I'm sure, you know, the examples they give us have words on it. I'm sure this would just be a plain brown or green or dark green screening. This is in conjunction with the screening that they've already planted. I've driven by and they have planted some trees. They've done a lot of the planting. I don't know if it's 100% complete, but they've done quite a bit of it. They are having issues. There's a lot of them dying, but that's up to them to make sure that they all live and whatnot. So Nexamp has agreed to extra screening in the original because one, they went and overcut what they weren't supposed to. It was supposed to be partial clearing. They went there and cleared. They came back in front of us. They said that they were going to put in almost double the amount of screening, vegetative screening. Everything was approved and agreed upon. Then we had neighbors come in and saying that the screening was too small, that it would take time for the screening to grow. So we went back to Navison for this type of screening. I think it's a good compromise. We all know that this screening doesn't last forever. It doesn't last a long time. I know it can take a beating. Nexamp has agreed to put monies in escrow for future screening. So if anything happens to this, let's say during the winter time, you know, a lot of it gets beat up and, well, it's going to have to be fixed and replaced. But as of right now, I think it was a good compromise for them to come back with this screening. Their quote from their contractor is it's going to cost them an extra $16,000 to put in this screening. And that is in addition to what was already approved by this board for vegetative screening for trees and whatnot.
So my question is, were they supposed to put a chain link fence?
I do not think so. I think the fence that they put in was the approved fence by this board 5-6 years ago.
So you kind of, unfortunately, that's what got okayed, but I know in the future we would never do that again.
Right. And again, just to kind of emphasize on that, when years ago when this town started getting inundated with solar, and we had never done solar before, and this board never dealt with solar before, this board was flying blind a lot of the times on what they should and shouldn't approve. As the years have gone by, and we've done quite a few more solar projects, and we've learned quite a bit, things like that fencing won't be approved in the future. But it's just things that we have to learn, and the new solar bylaw is also something that's, you know, a lot more strict and stringent than the old one. So that will help out too with all the new solar projects that come in front of us. But right now we got to kind of deal with what we've got. Nexamp was good enough to come back with this solution. I think it'll.
If I can be assured that they weren't supposed to put a chain link fence, That's the only question I've got. I would have to.
Yeah, I mean, previously, supposedly they had to put a fence in just to satisfy the electrical code. And,
Okay.
but they weren't, but in terms of something that would do visual screening, of course, the electrical code doesn't address that.
Like I said, it's just.
I mean, they've got some other things that they've got to satisfy to keep fencing up there,
Yep.
to keep people out and to satisfy the electrical code, as was explained to us before.
Right.
Honestly, from what I've seen of a couple of these things going in, any kind of plantings, they take 5 to 10 years to develop. You don't know whether they're going to live or die. You don't know who's going to own the thing in the future. I think you need to put up one of those, a solid fence of some kind.
Yeah.
Like the plastic one that's up along Main Street.
Yeah.
That will satisfy the neighbors. They will get some screening right away. I have to measure the height of it.
I would agree with you, and I think that's something.
That's just discussion.
Right,
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that is something that going forward that we will definitely
Right.
be doing. But once this board has approved a set of plans as is, granted, we do have the authority to make minor changes here and there to the special permit, but we cannot modify the entire set of plans. We can't tell them to rip up their fence and put in a new fence because it's already been approved.
Yeah, I mean, one way to try and get cooperation is, okay, here's your set of plans, this is what's approved. If you want to change anything on these plans, it's not approved unless you run it past us. Whether it's taking down all the vegetation instead of just some of it. If there are 2 panels that are placed differently than shows on the permit plans, that's a modification. So we should, if you don't want to give us any ability to modify anything, well, then you've got to go through the process again and request approval to change the panel layout, to change the panel count, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
If they were playing, if they totally said, no, we're not doing anything.
Then I think they had a problem.
yeah, no,
Then
I
it would
think
be a
this
problem.
is a reasonable,
No, it's a
this is a reasonable
Yeah,
thing.
they would have had a problem because they by cutting down all the trees, made
Right.
this issue.
Right,
Yeah.
agreed. But they did make this issue, and they did agree to plant extra trees to kind of fix their problem, or fix their mistake, so to speak. And then this is kind of a compromise to try to appease the abutters, at least for the next 5 years or so, until the plantings grow
But you're not giving
high
them,
enough.
you're not giving the plantings any kind of a head start to get where they need to be because they're already dying. So
Right, well-
really, they should be maintaining this to make sure they get to that.
Without a doubt, but there will be, and Haley is actually sending that email out, sent it out this morning, there will be sureties put in place, cash sureties put in place, just like we did with Wing Lane and all the other ones that we've done. There will be cash sureties put in place to make sure that vegetation stays alive and grows. It is their responsibility, to maintain that, and if, once they die, they have to replace them and
Didn't
make
it
sure.
just, I get it, not having the plans in front of me, because I thought we had some discussion here, about the plant, what had to go back, because they took it all back out, and we talked about different types, they even put in the right type of planting on the other side, all of that stuff is right now is what I'm just.
The plantings were already.
I'm okay with this, but as long as the fence is, the fence that was approved is a wire fence, not a chain link fence.
I will look into that.
Yeah,
I
because if they want a chain link fence,
Then they want to
chain
change
link
the
fence.
And what I'm thinking too, though, all right, we got that, cash surety and everything, but, okay, say a year from now, year and a half, the trees are pretty much dead, we're gonna have them replaced. But when we replace them, we're starting over again. You know what I'm saying? We're putting these small little trees in again. They're never gonna get any height to them because we keep replacing them.
Yeah.
And they may not tolerate the moisture in the soil
Right.
on
That's
the
not a problem,
backside.
yeah.
They may not have the right sun conditions. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, a lot happens.
it would have been a lot easier just to leave what was there, in terms of brush. If you don't touch that buffer area, in 10 years, it's going to be cherry trees and brush, and, there will be a screen there.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you did nothing for plantings.
Absolutely.
As long as you left it alone.
Yeah.
But if you go through there and you clear it out every 3 to 5 years, well, then you're never gonna get a screen there at all. I think this is reasonable for this particular project. I'm a little bit hesitant to agree to something on other projects that we don't know anything about yet.
No,
I mean-
no. Other projects that are, new projects that will be coming.
Well, they
from us
allude to, two other projects that.
Were approved.
Right.
were
But
approved, yeah.
that's not gonna.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
comfortable in
No, that's not.
giving
gonna
them
It's per
any
project.
Yeah, it's
indication on.
per project.
Yeah,
And-
per
and-
project,
and-
thank you.
And things change.
Okay.
And as far as I'm getting, the only major concern is the fence that was approved was the fence that was installed.
Fence that was that and the plantings that we discussed here, because that wasn't that long ago, because they took all of that out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
Right.
they did.
They're putting in what we talked about, putting in, what we approved, that's
Right.
all.
Yeah, right, yeah, no,
I mean, they did plant a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just unfortunate, it's a bad time of year,
Yeah.
and it's 95 degrees out.
Right.
And those things don't always take very well, just like
It's-
Rick said, they get too much, if they get too much water. like
Or not
Robert
enough.
Ray
Or
said,
not
not
enough.
enough,
Or not enough, yeah.
they'll drown.
We'll keep an eye on it, but for the meantime,
This will help the neighbor.
this will help
Yeah.
the neighbor. Can I get a motion of some sort?
Yeah.
A motion to accept
The perma-screen 80, the
Right.
perma-screen 80, as proposed. Do we get to pick the color, or have they picked one?
I don't think they have, but I'll definitely make sure.
Red is-
Make
red-
it
red
know
is-
it's
red
not.
is- Red is probably not what we're looking
Red and
for.
blue
but
is definitely not what we're looking for, so.
Black or
I
brown is
think-
probably
I think
better.
it'll take, to try to look like the surrounding vegetation. We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor?
Oh, aye. Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure that they don't come back and say, hey, not everybody said aye.
They only need 3.
Oh, I seconded it, so.
All right, is there a motion to approve? Oh, that's right, all right. Is there a motion to this screening is in addition to the, yes, we did that already. All right. No other business came in within the last 48 hours. Gentlemen, is there anything anybody would like to discuss while we're here? Our next planning board meeting is Thursday, July 11th. Can I get a motion?
Motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.